Hey, this is Red from Ross Video. I'm going to show you some basic masking techniques now. So I'm going to open up my scene director here and we're going to play this graphic from the beginning. So we've got an in, a reveal, and we're going to play that backwards, and we're out. So the background there, the lower third, is actually pre-rendered inside of After Effects and then brought in as a video, and the text is generated inside of XPression so that we can dynamically change it either through user interface or manually. Now, how do we make it look like it's being revealed by that final arrow? Well, the obvious one is to use masking. So we're going to look at that now. So if I'm just going to bring this slowly in, and you're going to be able to see as that arrow comes in, it slowly reveals the text there. Okay, so let's build this from scratch. And we're actually going to do ours a little bit better than this one as well. So let's first of all, we're going to start with a new scene where I clicked here, and I'm going to start with a background, which is an object that you pull from your base objects, and we're going to do a new video. And I have already made this lower third AVI. Now, we do recommend encoding into our codec. You can do this either by installing the codec onto any PC and doing it directly from your NLE or your motion graphic software. Alternatively, if you don't have that option, you can use our video encoder, which is included on any system that has XPression installed. So you can do it manually through that system. We also have a hardware version called Encoder, but that's another system as well, which you can look into if you're doing lots of videos. We have videos on all of those, so take a look. Anyway, for now I'm going to choose this. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to apply that by double-clicking, and we can see that it got applied. However, we don't see anything because most of the video is alpha. So I'm going to open up my scene director. I'm going to get that. I'm just going to move my scene director down here, and I'm going to get that material and I'm going to drop it on here. Press Shift, drop it over here. It's going to snap to the end there, and now I can just move my scene director back up here. I'm just going to scrub through. Just doing the arrow keys to scrub through to the point where that arrow on the end there just stops, and then I'm going to expand my view by clicking down here, and then I'm going to grab the end. So left click, grab, drag that back to where I want, which is there. Perfect. Now I can just play that video. So that's that bit done. Now we need some text, and we need to animate that. So I'm just going to make this slightly larger just so it's easier to follow, and then I'm going to add some text. So that's going to be my first line. So first, oops. And we're going to drag this down. So Control W, grab my little guy here, grab this guy here. Then I'm going to need a little bit more down. Let's just do down here a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to do Control C, Control V, moving this one down, and on the top line I'm going to highlight, and I've already made a lightweight font here which I can reuse, and this is obviously not my first line anymore, it's my second line of text, and there we go. Lovely. But of course now if I play this, it doesn't look like our other one because we have not got any masking, so it just plays in like this, which doesn't look that awesome. So what we need is a mask. So for masking in XPression, what we do is we do right click, new, material. We go to this blending option here, you expand it, choose alpha mask, and then we're going to add a object. So I'm just going to add a basic quad, and I'm going to apply that to it. And now I'm going to make that 1920. I'm going to bring this guy down, and we're going to hide all of our stuff. And just on a note there, if you find you cannot get your mask to hide your text, particularly in the next stage when we're going to be using a layer object, you might want to click on your text, and you're going to go down to this rendering tab here, and you're going to check that your rendering order priority is normal rather than the default, which is text on top. And at the end of the video I'll show you how to change your preset to default to normal. So hang out to the end if you want to see how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this quad here mask, and I'm going to rename the material mask as well, just so things match up. Apparently I've already got one, so we'll call it mask 1. And then what we want to do is we want to be able to actually see what this mask is doing. So we can use these objects called layer objects, and if I put one of those, we're then going to get all of our objects and we're going to put them in here. I'm going to show you what happens. Okay, there we go. Everything's masked. We don't want the background to be masked, so the easy option is just pop that back out, and now we have masked text but not the masked background. I'm just going to move this up here to get out of my way, and I'm actually going to just bring this up here. Now, what we're going to do here is we need to animate this mask. So, opening up the scene director again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the arrow keys. I'm going to nudge to the point where the last arrow just comes on. So there. And then I'm going to actually move my mask on X along, and I'm going to cut it there. And I'm going to make a keyframe, which I do by clicking down here. And I'm just going to make a keyframe on here. So as default, this box will probably look like this. So I've turned off these, I've turned off this, I've turned off these, and I've just turned back on X. So I'm going to make a keyframe on X, set and close, and then I'm going to move my, clicking back on here, I'll move back down until the head there gets to the end. Perfect. So now I'm going to make a keyframe here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my mask, because you can see it's revealing here, to the end as well. And it's going to be in line there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control K, and that's going to bring up the same window. It's the same as pressing the button, but it's just faster, obviously. And I'm going to do Set and Close. Now if we play that back, we now have a reveal. Problem is, if we actually look that back frame by frame, it gets quite far behind the arrow. And that's because the arrow itself, the animation there, has some cushioning on it. And we can do that in XPression as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my animation controller by doing right click, properties, or you can do Control-Shift-K if you like your keyboard shortcuts. Click on mask, click on position, and now I can see visually what that animation is doing. So I'm going to left click, drag, highlight both of my keys, change my interpolation to TCB spline, and then I'm going to grab this last one just on its own, and I'm going to take the tension right up, and I'm going to grab this guy, the first one, and I'm going to take this one down. So then we get this arc, and we're going to be pretty close. I'm not going to spend ages on it. So now if we watch that back, it's pretty close. I mean, so now if I use the arrow keys to just go through this, what we'll see is that that animation I made is pretty close to the arrow. Obviously, if I was doing this for a final project, I'd make sure that it matched up perfectly. This is close enough for now. So we're going to move on, and that's pretty much it. What we can also do, if we want to, is we can put in here something called an event. We can do a reverse, and we can go to the right click properties of that, and we can say pause as well. And now we have a play in, reveal, it will play, wait for the operator, and then you can play out. And there we have it. You've got a lower third made in a couple of minutes. What I might like to add, which I didn't do in the first one, but we're going to add to this one, is what we can do is we can actually put a bit of a feather on this. So rather than this hard edge, what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a fade in. So to do that inside XPression, we're going to make a new material. We're going to change the blending to alpha mask again, but we're also going to add a gradient. Now it doesn't matter at all what colors we choose for the gradient. Instead what we're going to do is we're going to click top left, we're going to go to the alpha here, I'm going to turn it off. I'm also going to do the same on the bottom. Off. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to add a quad, and we're going to apply that material to the quad. And we can see here, it's this see-through here, it's black here, and I'm going to line that up, just eyeball it for now, with the edge of that other mask I have, and then I'm going to rename it Feather Mask. I'm going to drop it into the other mask, and where we're going to see it's going to disappear like that. Perfect. And if you wanted it to be a bit of a smaller mask, what I could do is I could say, actually, you should be a bit smaller there, and then I'm going to move it over and line it up. There we go. Don't want quite such a long mask on that. And then, because it's a child, I don't know if you said I did that there, it's a child of the main mask, I don't need to animate that separately. That's just going to inherit that movement from the parent there. There we go. So we've got a nice little feather. Just play that back slowly. There we go. Much nicer. So there we go. That's some basic masking inside XPression. I hope that was helpful. Thanks very much.